Students, in this video we're going to be talking about a different lens that you can read through, and this one is about contrast and contradictions.
Okay, when the author gives you information and you start to think yourself, hey, that's different from what I've seen before, or that's different information than what they said in the beginning, that's going to be the author trying to give you a hint of a contrast or contradiction. They both sort of mean the same thing, but it's going to be showing you really that there's a distinction between one idea and another idea. One easy way, sometimes it's very easy to find it when you have words that are signal words, like although, on the other hand, however, unlike, or still, or but, or yet. So those are the easy little signal words that you can look for when you're trying to find this. And so we're going to try that today.
All right. So while you're reading, we want you to ask yourself, does this reveal a bias or judge or just new knowledge? So as you find the contrast and contradiction words, you might reveal like this person clearly is thinking a certain way and kind of giving me their opinion by putting this word in, or they might just be exposing you to a different idea that you haven't learned before.
Mm-hmm. Okay, now the skills that go along with that are going to help you think about the main idea, compare, contrast, cause and effect, author's purpose, make a generalization, and also make an inference. So as you're going along, you want to be thinking, okay, I'm thinking, why is the author putting this in? Well, maybe it's a main idea. Maybe it has a cause and effect. Maybe it's revealing the author's bias, and that's the author's purpose to give you their side. So those are all skills that you're doing as you're noticing the contrasts and contradictions.
All right.
So this is an article.
Let's try this out with the article. All right. So let's begin reading. Davos, Switzerland. The theme of this year's World Economic Forum meeting of world leaders and business people was the Fourth Industrial Revolution. The subtitle should have been Of Robots and Refugees. Although much of the meeting focused on the technological marvels of the near future, others highlighted the world's inability to address one of humanity's oldest problems: how to feed, house, and care for large populations driven by conflict from their homes and countries.
Okay, so again, I saw although and then others. So they're showing you that there is one side that focuses on the technological marvels, which are the good things, but then there's also the others that highlighted the inability to be able to do it. So you see right from the beginning, they're showing you that there's going to be one side that's going to show you almost the pros, and then the other side that's going to show you the cons of this. And then for this, we probably have to make a document like we did similar to the other one where we're...
Yeah. So I was trying to think to myself, like every single time you're reading an article, you need to have some kind of strategy to note take. So I'm going to just use a document. I could have used a number of different tools. So let me just make a new document here.
And when you notice it, you can also make your note taking the same way. Like since we noticed right away that it was pros and cons, we might be able to layer our note taking to be pro and con too.
So here's the title of the article. Let me pop this in. And then I'm going to say...
CC we'll use for the contrast.
Paragraph 1. CC. I noticed although, and I noticed others.
So it's giving you one side is looking for the although. So one side's looking for the positive parts of technology, and then the other side's going to be looking at the negative sides.
All right, let's read another paragraph and try this out one more time. The first industrial revolution occurred with the invention of the steam engine and mechanical production. The second was defined by electricity and mass production. The third was the digital revolution, which began in the 1960s with the invention of computers, semiconductors, and the internet. Didn't see anything in that
background,
one.
Yeah.
According to WEF Chairman Klaus Schwab, the fourth industrial revolution is beginning now, characterized by a much more widespread and mobile internet, by smaller and more powerful sensors that have become cheaper, and by artificial intelligence and machine learning. It is ushering in a world in which virtual and actual systems are intertwined in manufacturing, services, and the human body itself. Do you see any words in there? I didn't see any. Okay. A vision of tomorrow. The WEF's program featured discussions on robotics, biotechnology, nanotechnology, and space travel. The Victoria and Albert Museum in London, England, created an interactive exhibit called This Time Tomorrow. It featured 6 scenarios of possible futures, including a world in which three-dimensional casts of human faces can be created from a single strand of DNA. Buildings are covered with a skin capable of photosynthesis, so it can act like leaves, taking in carbon dioxide and releasing oxygen. And death can be beaten by bringing back those who chose to be cryogenically frozen.
Now, this can be one of those ones that it doesn't actually have a sign, but I can totally tell that these are positive.
Yeah.
So if you're looking at what the author was trying to say and the author's purpose, they are trying to give you some positive impacts of it, and this is definitely one of them. Like, to human faces to be created from a single strand of DNA, that's pretty cool.
And bringing back those who chose to be cryogenically frozen. It's a little creepy, but I guess I think it's kind of good. But I can already tell if I keep reading that the next paragraph is going to give me the opposite perspective.
Because it says other and then it says however. So those are again going to be the opposite side.
So other exhibits, however, focused on urgent current problems. Participants were able to experience being a refugee through a virtual reality headset. They could also don a headscarf and spend 75 minutes being treated like a refugee and face heart-wrenching choices.
Oh, I see the connection between the refugees now.
So I see the, where's my doc? Okay, so I think this is in paragraph 4. I'm going to make some more notations about the compare and contrast that I'm seeing. Comparing like cool technology, like bringing back from the dead, versus tech to solve an urgent problem, like refugees, which is a problem that we're having in our world right now.
Right. And it's going to, again, follow that same pattern. So you're seeing the author's purpose and the author's text structure. They're going positive, negative, positive, negative.
Cool. All right. So you guys, I think, saw a little demo. I think you can get started on this. This one's, I think, one of the harder ones to do. So if you need some help with it, just ask whatever teacher's in the room with you, either Mrs. Rye, Ms. Messina, or myself. We can help you out with it. But as you read today, what we want you to do is to code the text with a CC. And then notice, why did the author point out this contradiction? Does this reveal a bias or just new knowledge? And what is the difference and why does it matter?